everyone, it's Rachel. I have hamsters, and this week I'm just going to do a little update for you, my December hamster update, and then hopefully the next episode I will have another interview for you. I do have a few lined up, but I think it's just been hard to schedule with the holidays, and everybody, including me, is really busy, so hopefully we'll get that soon, and I can't wait for all the people I get to talk to. This is really why I'm doing this, is just because I wanted an excuse to talk to all these people. So thank you for listening if you listened. And if you haven't, the last one I did was with Chip's Hamster Sanctuary. There's a woman who takes in a lot of hamsters in the LA area, but also works at one of the shelters there, and is just a wonderful human being. So I hope you listen to that and enjoy it, and I hope that inspires you to take in a hamster in need this season, like I recently have. So yeah, my December update. A week and a half ago, I got 2 new robos. So I've been thinking about getting another hamster for a while. I have 2 right now. Previous to this, I had one robo, Thor, and another dwarf hamster, Maurice. Maurice is super shy. I basically hardly ever see him unless I really make an effort, even with my wise cams, and every time I see he's up, I sneak towards the cage. He's like, Choo! he knows. He just runs away so fast, but he's so cute when I do get him out, and such a sweetheart. I mean, he'll sit in my hand. He doesn't bite or anything, but he is just kind of a nervous little guy, and I was just missing that interaction. And especially now that I've gotten really into setting up these hamster playpens and taking photos of my hamsters, I wanted a hamster who would come out that I could take photos of. And lately, I only get Thor, and Thor is wonderful. I just wanted maybe some other personalities to add to the mix. So I was sort of I've been perusing the hamster rehoming groups on Facebook. There's one for the Midwest where I'm at, and then there's a nationwide one. It's hamster rehoming group, and then there's the ham love and adoption rehoming group. Excuse me. And so every time I see someone post in Michigan, I'm kind of well, or nearby Michigan, if it's northern Ohio or northern Indiana, I'll respond and say, if you don't find anyone, I'm happy to help out. But yeah, I probably shouldn't be the first person to take this hamster because I already have 2. Anyway, so I did that. Someone had posted they had 2 robos who were living together in a kind of smallish, cozy wild cage. And she got back to me a week ago and was I'm leaving to go home. She was a college student, and I'm leaving tomorrow, and I need someone to take these hamsters today. Can you still take them? Are you still interested? And so that is what I did. I was sure. The only thing is I have dinner plans tonight, and so she was thankfully willing to take them to me because I just wasn't able to do a road trip at that moment, short notice. And so I got these 2 new robos. She's had them since August, so I'm gonna guess August, June. Let's say they're about 6 months old. They're little things. They're so cute and tiny. They remind me of one of my robos I first had, Sophia. It's just a little dot of a thing. And these guys, they're kind of like Sophia. They're curious and really fast and nimble. Thor, I love Thor. He's kind of a funky little guy, and he's clumsy. He falls over a lot. I would call him agile. But these little hamsters, they run all around. When I was setting up I'll talk about it, but when I was setting up their cage for them, I was thinking are they going to be able to climb up this? Is this too steep? Some robos, they have trouble. I put some adhesive cork on some pieces just to make sure they could grab. And no problems. They are zoom, 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 zoom. They can just get everywhere. So they're just so cute. And yeah, they are 2 females. They were living together. She's had them since August in this cage. It's about a little over 400 square inches. And, I don't know if they were fighting or not. I checked them over. They looked healthy. I don't see any injuries on them, so that's good. And, there are instances where dwarf hamsters can get along in pairs if they're from the same family and they grew up together. So I wasn't like immediately going to separate them. I kind of wanted to see how things looked before I made that judgment call. So I got them in this cage. It was kind of stinky. It's this wooden cage. And so what I did was I took all their stuff out. I took them out. I put them in a bin cage. And then I cleaned the wooden cage. And she had this like adhesive sort of plastic on the bottom of the cage. So I peeled that up because they had already like been chewing at that. So I was like, that's not good. So I peeled all that up, cleaned it, and then I painted the inside with non-toxic Mod Podge. If you've never used that, it's like super handy to have around if you have hamsters because it'll just seal the wood. It's not very heavy. You almost kind of don't notice it, but it does seal the wood if it's splintery, or if you want to, like if you have a wooden wheel or a wooden cage like this one and you want to make sure that their pee doesn't soak into the wood. It's a great thing to have around. So I painted the inside, and then I noticed, so this cage is kind of a weird design. It just has 4 large, like 1-inch diameter holes on the side for ventilation, and that's it. So no wonder that it was really stinky in there, first off. And this girl had covered it in double-sided tape, because I guess she had a cat, so she was afraid the cat would reach in those holes. So I don't really know how much ventilation these hamsters even got to begin with, so that's yuck. But I'm not trying to bash this girl. I don't really like doing that. I think we're all on our journey of learning, and I'm glad she found them a home who could take care of them, and I'm not criticizing her. I'm glad that she protected them from her cat, but just like, yuck, they were stinky. So I peeled off that tape, but I did feel like I needed to close those holes because they're big enough. I actually think that these little robos could totally fit through them. And then there's like a slight risk that they could get halfway through them and get stuck. So thankfully I had some wire mesh from making bin cages around, and I just sort of cut it and I duct taped it on the side so that basically as far as they could go is just poke their nose into the hole, but they couldn't get through it. And that way at least they have ventilation and I don't have to worry about them getting stuck or getting out. And honestly, I actually think that amount of ventilation isn't quite enough. So a lot of time I've been leaving the lid open. I do that on my Vistas too. I just am really careful about not having things like too close to the edge there or having anything hanging so that my hamsters can't climb out. It's a risk I take, I know. I have my hamsters in one room, and I have door sealers, and I don't have like other pets or children walking around, so I can take that risk. I wouldn't recommend it for everybody, but I do think making sure that your hamsters have good ventilation is kind of important. So I don't know, it's never a perfect thing. Anyway, so I did that wire mesh on the outside of the cage, and then once the Mod Podge was dry, which really only took like an hour, I reset up the cage. And it looks so cute, actually. I mean, it's only 430 square inches or so it's not quite like, I definitely wouldn't keep a hamster in this cage long term, but it's, I think, a totally acceptable short-term situation, and maybe even a great cage for an elderly hamster. I've actually been noticing that Thor is having more trouble getting around lately, and he's doing fine for now, but I was thinking, like at first when I got this cage, I was like, oh, I'm going to get rid of it. But then now I'm like, actually, it's pretty cute, and it's probably fairly useful, especially if you have hamsters at different ages. So yeah, maybe at some point I'll put Thor in this smaller cage, and then I'll move one of the robos into Thor's bigger Night Angel Vista. But we're not there yet. Thor is still thriving and loving his life, so I'm not going to move him. But yeah, I got it set up. It looks pretty cute. I put some hemp bedding on one side with some moss, and I sprinkled a bunch of seeds in there, and they went crazy digging in the hemp bedding. It was really cute. And then they came with this like little one of those peep sheds. It's not Night Angel brand, but a different one, where it's like 2 chambers and one side is open. And so it's made from that like slippery kind of like manufactured wood, if you know what I mean. And it almost feels like plastic. So I put some adhesive cork on top of it and on the sides so they could like climb up it easily. And then I did one more platform. I used a Container Store acrylic riser. It's about 6 inches high, I think. And I before there were so many platforms available on Amazon. I mean, now you can get them from Night Angel and maybe a few other brands. I bought a bunch of these clear acrylic risers from Container Store, and they're like 6 inches high and maybe like 5 inches wide. And then if you put some, like I put that cork that comes with the Night Angel wheels, I just like stick that on there, and then it's a great riser to put various items. Because sometimes the Night Angel platforms are like a little too high. Like they only come in basically like 12 inches or 7 inches as far as I'm aware. So this is, another level, and it's kind of nice to have like in a lot of my cages I have like the highest one, I have like the 12-inch one, the 7-inch one, and then I have like this one, so it's kind of like slopes down in the vista. So anyway, so I have one of those Container Store risers, and then I put their sand bath on top of that, and I used 2 coffee mugs or coffee mug holders from Starbucks to help them climb up it. I'm going to post a picture so you know what I'm talking about. But I was like so happy with the setup. It was so cute. I felt really like, wow, I really got a lot in this like tiny little space. And I even got in a 10-inch Night Angel Dark Clouds wheel. Initially, I gave them one of the Bukastat silent wheels, the plastic ones with kind of the ridges, but they're so small, they like can't push it at all. So I found that the Dark Clouds wheel is better because it's like super lightweight. So if you have a really small hamster who's struggling, then Dark Clouds wheel, any size. I mean, the 10-inch one works, the 8-inch one works for them. So I actually have 2 8-inch and 1 10-inch. So I put the 10-inch one in there because there's 2 of them. And and it was so cute. And I was really hopeful that they were going to continue getting along, as far as I could tell. I watched them while they were awake, and they ate together. They were digging in the hemp together. I did not see any aggression towards each other, but I did set up a wise cam, and I watched them overnight. And unfortunately, they had quite a few, at least like 2 scuffles that I could see. And when I came in the room in the morning, one was sleeping kind of like out by the wheel, and the other one was like inside the bedding. So when they're not sleeping together, it's like a pretty good sign that they're no longer BFFs. So unfortunately, I decided to separate them. I'm going to assume that they were getting along up until this point, but sometimes even though I kept them in that same space, and I did give them new items, because the items that they had when they came to me weren't really hamster appropriate. They were like okay. They had like a 6.5-inch wheel, which for tiny robos isn't like the worst ever, but I definitely wouldn't choose it as a long-term solution. And I'm sure they couldn't run on it together. At least this Dark Clouds wheel, I mean, when they weren't fighting, they were running on that wheel together, and it was really cute. So it's a bummer that it didn't work. But I mean, who knows? New items. Someone mentioned that maybe the new smells, like other hamsters in the room, can cause some new aggression or new stressors. And sometimes it's hard to control. But in general, when you do have two bonded hamsters like that, keep them in a smaller space is advantageous because it keeps them from getting too territorial. So 400 square inches would be a good size to start them in. But so I know it's really controversial. Generally speaking, we never recommend people to keep hamsters together. But if they come together, I always at least I at least take a look at the situation and don't jump to conclusions, because there are circumstances when dwarf hamsters can get along. Um, and certainly in the wild, they do live in family groups, but it's just hard to replicate that situation in a space inside your home, and it's much better and safer for the hamster if, for them to be separated than to take that risk. So yeah. So now they are in. So one remained in the cozy wild cage, and the other one is in a bin cage. And I haven't named them yet. One has like a little toupee kind of on her head, and then the other one has this like patch on her eye. They're so cute. So yeah, I need to figure out names, but one step at a time. So I ordered a new cage for the one who's in a bin cage. I thought about keeping her in the bin, but honestly, I think I'm done with bin cages. Like, it's fine as like a temporary solution, but they're just kind of ugly. And now there's so many great options on Amazon. Like, it used to be there was nothing other than like if you wanted to do like a heavy aquarium or some sort of IKEA hack. We've come so far in the last 3 years. It's crazy. So I think I'm going to put her in... oh, I know I am. I ordered a Proly wooden cage. It's very similar to the Cozy Wow one that I got with these two hamsters, but it's much larger. It's about 800 square inches, so about the same as a 50-gallon stacker or 200 quart bin, and but similar design as the Cozy Wow cage. It's just I really liked this Cozy Wow. It's like really lightweight and easy to move around. I love the vistas, the Night Angel vistas that I have, but they're sort of clunky to move. I feel like I don't know, they're just, I wouldn't get rid of them, but I feel like 2 is enough. And to have another cage, it felt like, you know what, I just want something a little bit simpler. So I ordered this cage from Amazon. I'll let you know what I think when I get it. And of course, there'll be lots of photos on my Instagram, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. There were great reviews for it on Amazon. There was one person who said, I've had the Night Angel cage, I've had the Buka, like I've had all the cages, and this one is my favorite. So that gave me hope. So we'll see. I'm excited to get that started. I also have this IKEA Linman, something like that, in my garage. I got that one for free off the curb. It was a curb alert. But I'm a little worried. I'm like scared to use it. After I had this mite issue, now I'm a little bit afraid because it was sitting outside, and it's like, because it's IKEA, it's like basically corrugated cardboard on this. I wish they hadn't put it outside. It just, so now I'm a little nervous that if I bring it inside, I'm just gonna, bring mites with it. So I might just chuck that one. I don't know. I wish there was maybe I'll try to treat it and put it inside a plastic bag, and then I can use it in a couple months or something. But it's a great cage. It's so nice that someone made this, and it's such a bummer that they just put it outside. Had they like posted it, I contacted them right away. I was like, I can't get there today, but if you bring it inside, like I'll pay you for it. They were like, no, we don't want money. And I was like, oh, please. Yeah, so still debating about that one. Anyway, so that's the update on those 2 robos. If you have any name ideas, please let me know. And yeah, it's funny because now all of a sudden, like I've been looking for like one more hamster, and it seems like there were no hamsters looking for homes in my area, and all of a sudden now there's like a bunch. Yesterday someone posted these 2 friendly dwarf hamsters that I'm very tempted. And another person has a accidental litter of some robos, and yeah, I'm trying to figure out what my limit is. So we'll see if I end up with one more hamster. I really feel like 4 is a good number, but yeah, I don't know. When it rains, I guess it pours hamsters. So here I am. So we'll see if I get more. I'll let you guys know. So my other updates, just my holiday playpen. I've gotten really into the playpen space I have for my hamsters, particularly as I got really into doing photography. And it's been really fun to like set up new hides for them and like capture them. Mostly lately it's just Thor. Capture Thor enjoying the playpen, and Thor comes out like multiple times a day. He's in my office, so he hears me working. He runs around in circles until I come and get him, and then I put him in the playpen, and he enjoys snacking and sniffing and whatever he does in there. And I get a chance to take a photo of him, which is nice. Yeah, I got two new hides. I got one, which is well, actually, it's not a hide, it's a foraging tree. I think it's kind of made for guinea pigs and rabbits, but it totally works for hamsters. It's just like those, those trees where it's like two flat pieces of wood and then you kind of like insert them together and it becomes this, 3D tree. So it's like that. And then it has all these little holes. So the way you could use it for guinea pigs is by sticking like lettuce and veggies in it. But what I did is I just stuck various sprays in there. Thor is not like, I don't know, he's funny. He's got weird taste. He doesn't ever seem that interested in hamster sprays. Like, I think the first time I gave him some, he was like, ooh, cool. And then I like never saw him eat them again. So he's not that interested. I'm hoping these robos are going to be into it. But he does look cute around it, And then I also got this hide, which was kind of pricey, but it's so beautiful and like really well done. I got it from Innodove on Etsy. And this person has just like the cutest, most beautiful hides, all wooden. I don't know how they make them. I'd love to. Maybe I could interview them. I'm gonna add this to my list. But it's so beautiful. So I got that, and it just looks so cute and pretty. And I've been really enjoying taking photos of Thor snacking outside of it. I was hoping he'd like go in there and then I get a cute picture of his like face framed in it, but so far, no. But maybe in the future, we'll see. But yeah, so that's kind of it. And then when Christmas is over, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the playpen. I have some sets from Little Ham Designs to use. So maybe I'll do one of the sets. I think I have like a carnival one, and I have maybe an Italian restaurant. I think I also have that. So maybe they'll go eat some Italian food. Yeah. So that's what's going on in my hamster world. And of course I put some fun hamster goodies on my Christmas list. Like whenever my family's like, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, well, I don't really need anything, but like, I feel like my list this year is just like fuzzy sweatpants, new headphones, and then like a million hamster things. Like, well, I have this hamster thing or that hamster thing. So hopefully I get lots of fun hamster things, and I'll share them with you all when I get them. So I hope you are having a lovely holiday season with your friends, family, and hamsters. And I look forward to coming to you soon with my next interview. And until then, yeah, keep it cozy, enjoy your hamsters, and I'll talk to you soon.